already I covered it. So let's begin now. Huh? So as we know, the torque is equal to, so how the angular momentum and the torque are related. How the angular momentum and the torque are related. That is the first question. So already we have defined this. External torque is equal to dl bar by dt. Can you remember? I think we have brought this particular expression, no? I is equal to alpha, where the rate of change of angular momentum, what happens, should be equal to the external torque. If the net external torque acting on system is 0, then angular momentum is 0, or initial angular momentum is equal to final angular momentum. This is nothing but the conservation of angular momentum. So let's go for one thing now. So this is a torque dl bar by dt. So what is this torque into dt? Torque into time. I'll integrate this. So let this be equal to Li, and this is equal to Lf. And this is for interval of time 0 to delta t, you call it, for small interval of time. So this will be Lf minus Li bar is equal to, this will call angular impulse. So I'll call it as symbol. Books, they are not given any symbol. So we'll take this as j theta. J is linear impulse. J theta will become angular impulse. J theta, let me use symbol because every time writing torque, that's one. So this quantity is what? We'll call it as angular impulse. And what is that angular impulse equal to? Change in angular momentum. So again, the basic definition will be like this. Li bar plus or minus j theta is equal to plus or minus Li bar. Impulse momentum equation. What is this? Angular impulse and angular momentum equation. The same way how we discussed in the collision chapter at the end, impulse momentum equation, very good numericals came, no, when it came impulse. The similar year also, best numericals is now is what available in this particular section here. Sir, what is angular impulse? You're not getting. So it is, you can exclusively write like this. What is j theta? Torque into dt, torque into time, or you can also write it this as, you expand this torque what you can do expand like this, j into r into dt. Okay, torque is what, f, no, and f into dt, what you can write it as, impulse, linear impulse. So this we can also write as j into r. Force, like a impulse acting at a distance r will set up angular impulse, or torque acting for small duration of time will set up an angular impulse, or the force acting at a distance r which will set up a torque for a small interval of time will set up angular impulse. So what you should do now, in any numerical where a force acts and that force acts for small duration of time, check is that force sets up a torque, then as the torque into that small duration of time will be angular impulse. Or if a force acts for a small duration of time, it will be impulse. That impulse into moment of arm or perpendicular distance, that will become angular impulse. So sometimes the information of J will be available. We know linear impulse acting on a body, and we know at a particular distance R. So there's angular impulse is set up. Sometimes we'll not be having the impulse, we'll be having information of directly the torque. Then torque into time will be the again angular impulse. Or sometimes we'll be having information of the force and the perpendicular distance and also time. Then you take help of this particular form. Getting the idea? So now I think the numerical sort pen will be very tricky for you. So don't think that only impulse acts, J into R is angular impulse. No, even torque acting for small duration of time is also angular impulse. Or even the force at a distance R acting for small duration of time will set up impulse here. So three ways open the numericals will be available for you. You should identify is it angular impulse or not here. And what is the generalized equation? Angular impulse, angular momentum equation. This is the formula. Initial angular momentum equal to angular impulse is equal to final angular momentum. When you should take j theta positive if it acts in the direction of initial angular momentum. Sir, how you can say that angular impulse, all that particular thing? Okay, that will take the numerical. That will take numerical, or else I'll give small idea based things. So suppose we have a disk here. It is having angular velocity omega naught. Then, so what I do is like I'll apply impulse. An impulse is applied. How to apply that impulse? Force acting for small duration of time, I think. And finally, the rigid body will be having an angular velocity omega naught in this direction. So what is the final equation? O is the like a center of the disk you can write. So about what point I'm defining about the axis passing through point on perpendicular to plane. So what is the formula? I naught omega naught minus j into r is equal to I naught omega. Why this is positive and why this is specifically negative. This angular impulse, or how is angular impulse acting? This r bar, this is j bar, r cross j. So how the angular impulse? Angular impulse is anti-clockwise. What is the initial angular momentum? Initial angular momentum is clockwise. You see, initial angular momentum is clockwise. Angular impulse is anti-clockwise. So if angular, like a sign for angular impulse negative, the reason for that it is anti-clockwise. Put negative sign. Why final angular momentum clockwise? Because final angular velocity is clockwise. So the sign for angular impulse and final angular momentum will determine with respect to initial angular momentum. This is one case. Now it can happen. I'll apply angular impulse. There's a just introduction I'm giving. And finally, what happened? The rigid body. So what is the formula now? I naught omega naught plus j into r plus I naught omega. Now you have to ask questions. So why again all are positive here? Look, especially this. Because how is the angular impulse? Angular impulse acts in the direction of initial angular momentum. And final angular momentum is also in the direction of initial angular momentum. Yeah, it can happen also a situation. Carefully look at the diagram and analyze. What about the initial angular momentum clockwise? This will be j into r anti-clockwise minus I naught. Final angular velocity is also is anti-clockwise. So the signs, why negative? Final angular momentum is opposite to initial angular momentum. Why this is negative? The angular impulse is acting opposite to initial angular momentum. Like that, the angular impulse, angular momentum should be, the sign should be taken. And one more thing, about what axis you are defining initial angular momentum. About that axis only you should define angular impulse and final angular momentum. I am putting this condition because what is the axis here? Passing through perpendicular to plane. Means about what axis? About what axis? The Li, or say initial, the initial angular momentum is defined. The angular impulse and final angular momentum must be defined about that axis only. Okay, fine. So this is the one thing. So now you should not do like this. I'm underlining. So initial angular about O, but angular impulse I'll measure about some other this point. Final angular I'll measure some other point. No, that one. The total equation or pen, everything about an axis. So some books they just write here about about a given axis. The entire equation is should be defined about only one axis here. All three terms in the bracket should be defined about one given axis only. Any conceptual question more than one option, no, they may trouble you. All these three quantities should be defined about a given axis only. Okay, let's take the some best examples. So let's take a rod. There's a center O of the rod. This is A. This is B. Let me describe the question. A rod AB of mass 2m, length L is lying on smooth horizontal surface a particle of mass m moving with a velocity u collides elastically with the rod. Find the velocity of rod just after impact. Okay, there's a thing I'm giving. Find the velocity of rod just after impact. So what is this? You do one thing, just take pencil, keep it on a table, dining table or on floor. You take some stone or marble or some bead, just project it and let it go and strike it. So you see what happened. Also, like I'm not getting, you do one thing, keep, all of you can do this, try. Take pencil or pen. Better take pencil so that it will be uniform. No pen, what happen if it is not exact cylindrical shape, may not exactly rotate about midpoint. So if you take pencil, keep it here, strike at point A, keep it on table with your fingers. No, don't push it, strike it. I think carom board. What you do? Will you push the striker or will you strike the striker? You are going to strike it. No, same thing happen. You strike at any one end, at A or B. Then see what motion will occur and why do it will rotate. Instead, next what happen, you can do one thing. You can take some particle, something or anything. Eraser, I think, can't move very easily. So take some stone, something, just throw it toward that pencil. It goes and strikes. Then after, just after collision, what will happen to them? This is what I'm discussing on, nothing big here. Okay, I try to analyze. Huh? I'll have water. What will happen? Once again, I'm pulling. I said this entire rigid body. I think it was quite very comfortable. No, proud a student must have a general vision. See, that's what actually. See, we should not blame kids actually. So if you look at our book, no, they made it so theoretical that you find something you should imagine. You just open any book, foreign author books, no. They give so many examples. They don't say particle. They say like a small, tiny marble. Then what he says like a some pencil is kept, and let's assume pencil rigid. Then you'll discuss the problems. Students immediately what happen? Oh, what I'm studying is something very general. But you look at our books, no, rod of mass and length, rigid rod of mass and length. Yes, then rigid rod, either rigid or not possible. Then what he says particle. Particle means finish or no tiny particle. We don't know that. The moment you say particle something, when you say ideal, no, then students will think okay, all these are imaginary. You take foreign author book, no, nowadays what mean they're changing things. They say they want like a students to analyze, so they say like a small marble. Understood, marble means okay. Then they say like a pencil made up of iron, take it to be approximately rigid. Finish. So anybody can understand this problem. What students will do, immediately take pencil, let's assume iron, then you'll take some small stone or any bead, you'll throw that, it go collides. Finish. Or is far better at highest position in the science and technology because he is analyzing things. I don't know why our authors when will change. Hope very soon let them change so that more practical way of learning things will come into our education system. No. So what you should do immediately? What will happen? Just during collision, what actually happens during collision? Because we know collision idea. So they say what are the forces that will be acting? An impulse will act, normal contact will act, and that normal contact will exert impulse on this. Similarly, an impulse will act on the rod. Agree this? Okay, now come for this one. An impulse acts on a rod. So what can happen to the rod? Angular impulse, angular momentum concept you applied. So just after impact, what all we can see is the rod will have, see, you come for an impulse acts on a body, then it will have momentum. So the center of mass will start moving with a velocity v naught. This is the end of the rod. Then J into L by 2, an angular impulse is set up, no? So this is L by 2 and this is J. So L by 2 and J. So how the angular impulse is acting clockwise. So therefore the rod will acquire an angular velocity omega naught. What will happen to the particle? You go back to the collision. If an impulse acts on a particle or on a body, so then what are the possibilities for this particular ball or small ball, marble, small marble, whatever if you want, you can put it. So what will happen? It may come to rest after collision. It may rebound or it may continue to move with a velocity in same direction. So what I do is like I'll just assume just after impact, it will have velocity, say, we'll do one thing, v2 omega 2. This is v1. This is before collision. And what is the state of the rod? It was at rest. This is during collision. This is after collision. Okay, we have this much here. Then what are unknown things are there? V1, V2, omega 2. Three unknowns are there. Can we apply conservation of linear momentum? The very first thing, can we apply conservation of linear momentum? Yes, we can apply, because what is the net impulse on the system? 0. So summation of Jx is 0. So initial momentum equal to final momentum. Now what is initial momentum? Mu. Final momentum, the particle will have velocity v1, that of the rod v2. How many unknowns are there? U equal to v1 plus 2v2. Yeah. Then next question comes elastic collision. That also we can take help of this one. Can we apply quotient of restitution? Yes, we can apply. So what is this? This is a line of impact. This will be the line of impact. Then what is the velocity of the rod after impact? So velocity of point A. So applying quotient of restitution formula, E is equal to velocity of the rod, VA, will be positive. No? Anything directed towards right, I'll take positive, plus VA, plus V1, then velocity of the rod, plus U. What is the state of the rod? Earlier it was a test. So since E equal to 1, so 1 is equal to, what is VA? You can write it as V2 plus L by 2 omega 2. Why it is like this? Because what is the velocity of point P? Because the rod is having both translative as well as rotative motion. What is the velocity of any point? Due to translative motion, VA. Due to rotative motion, tangential velocity, L by 2 omega minus V1 by U. So U is equal to V2 plus L by 2 omega 2 minus V1. Desperately, we need one more equation. We need one more equation. I'll apply conservation of angular momentum. We need one more equation. So from where to bring, how to apply conservation of angular momentum, about what point angular momentum is conserved. I'll give 1 minute time because there's the first problem. I want you to really put effort. About what point you can conserve angular momentum. About what point angular momentum is conserved. I should give even 2 minutes time, nothing there then. So just put effort, analyze. What are the points are there? A, B, O, or any arbitrary point, and a point on a ground, no. I'm giving int. Check is it angular momentum conserved about A, about O, about B, about any arbitrary point on the rod, and a point on the ground. So 5 points are there. But in the books, they are considered only about 1 point. Why they are doing like that? So if you close eyes, try to imagine gone. So what you should do, you should immediately what happen? Bring the formula, angular impulse, angular momentum equation. When you can conserve angular momentum, when net torque is 0 or net angular impulse is 0, then Li is equal to Lf. Go back to the formula. What is the formula? You have to start from here. No? What is it? When you can write Li equal to Lf, when J theta is 0, when angular momentum is conserved, when net torque is 0 or angular impulse is 0. If this angular impulse is 0, then initial angular momentum equal to final angular momentum. So now about which point you can pick up so that net angular impulse will be 0. Again, you should choose axis, no? Whenever you're writing angular impulse, angular momentum equation, what is the basic necessity condition? Where is the axis? Okay, let me do one thing. I'll start about O. And then due to this, J into L by 2, this is L by 2, this is J. So how is this angular impulse due to J, which is acting towards right clockwise, L by 2 J. Right hand fingers, you have to curl R bar cross this one. So what is the angular impulse? R bar, this is J. Then similarly, okay, this one. Now you look at this one. This is R bar, this is J. How the angular impulse due to this linear impulse will be anti-clockwise. So net angular impulse 0. So therefore angular momentum is conserved about O. Next thing, sir, what about A? Yes, it is conserved about A also. Because both these linear impulse will not set up any angular impulse. So angular is conserved about A also. There's no problem. We can conserve about A also. Sir, but B, is it conserved? Yes. plus L into J clockwise. Here this plus L and this J. So this angular impulse will be anti-clockwise. Net angular impulse 0. It's about B also angular momentum is conserved. Then what about any point on the ground? Any point on the ground means let me pick up here. Then about this point you look at this one. Any point, no? Somewhere here. Look at that yellow color line. Now some arbitrary point I'm picking up here. About this point P. About this point also the condition is same. This is R bar, this is J. Clockwise angular impulse. This is R bar and this is J. Anti-clockwise. So what is the net angular impulse about any point on the ground? Is also 0. So therefore angular momentum of this system, particle rod system, about what point conserved? About any point on the rod or about any point on the ground. Most fundamental, this is the most fundamental thing. So therefore what I should conclude here? That line is there. No? I'll show by yellow color line so that will be easy for you. If I draw another thing, no, you start assuming some other thing. So what is the conclusion? Shall I make it? Angular momentum of rod particle is conserved about any point on the rod or about any point on the ground. But I'll consider about O. Okay, this I can consider about any point. Okay, now I'll get into the problem. I'll consider about O. L O Z I is equal to L O Z F. What is the initial angular momentum? I think I can't minimize more than this. Yeah. Anybody, can you write initial angular momentum? Like a particle, no? It is the rod is at rest. So this is L by 2 and mu L by 2 only due to translative motion. Clockwise. Finally, particle is having angular momentum how much? I can't minimize less than this one. We'll do one thing. I'll shift it this one. Yeah, I think no. Yeah, and this one. All of you, please. They're the best problem. So almost you have some 30 to 40 numericals are there, not 1, 2. And there's a core idea enough. You can manage most of the numericals, you know. And let's come for this one. What is the angular momentum of particle after collision? mv1 L by 2. It is also clockwise. Then next, that of the rod. Rod is what? High O omega 2. But sir, why you are not writing 2mv2? This velocity v2 what will intersect the axis of rotation. What is the axis I took? About O. So about what point we are defining all this? About an axis passing through O perpendicular to plane. I'm bringing everything. Just please do see that one. So what is this? That of the particle before collision. That of the particle after collision. And what is this? Angular momentum of the rod due to rotative motion. But sir, rod is also having translative motion. But look at translative motion or describe center of mass. Okay, fine, everything. But what is axis? Axis is at center of mass. So what happened to R bar? L equal to R bar cross M V bar. No, R is 0. No, or this velocity v2 will intersect axis of rotation, so r is 0. That's why we don't get angular momentum due to translative motion of the rod, only angular momentum due to rotative motion of the rod. Okay, now you can ask questions. Sir, I'll apply about B. So what is the best way of defining angular momentum? About which axis the rigid body is rotating, about that axis, how you can write angular momentum? High omega, no? Go back, previous class I discussed some very beautiful ideas here. When you can write L equal to I omega, when L and omega are about same axis, no? When L and omega are about different axes, then you can't write L equal to I omega, then you should write L bar equal to I omega bar. Got the idea? This one. So therefore now, so definitely open, I want to write a simplified mathematical equation. So therefore I'm picking up an axis about which the rigid body is rotating. The rigid body is rotating about O, so I'll define about that one. So therefore the formula will become very simple. Moment of inertia about that axis into angular velocity about that axis. Able to get this? So therefore in all these conditions what happen, I should always go and check about what point the rod after collision will rotate. About that point we'll try to define angular momentum. So that will be easy for us. Okay, what is our question now? We have to find out V1, V2 and omega 2. Let's get into calculation part. After this, I'll go for solving. This should be M Lu by 2, V1 L by 2. Moment of inertia of the rod 2M L square by 2L into omega 2. So M get cancels and also one L also get eliminated. So U by 2 or even V1 plus L omega 2 by 3. So how many unknowns are there? Check it. 1, 2, 3. Three equations, 3 unknowns. Solving them will get the required answer. So what all we have brought? Conservation of linear term, quotient of restitution, then conservation of angular momentum. Almost maximum ideas will try to introduce in given numerical. Just solve it, give the values, V1, V2, solve 1, 2, 3. Anybody solve 1, 2, 3? Because give the values, this is very important. No. Anybody answer? Please try to solve it. You give the answer because like that sign I have to interpret. I'm waiting for your answers. About any point P. We'll write it. You have to solve 1, 2, and 3. Anybody answer? In terms of u, you are to bring. Answers will be in terms of u. Omega will be there. Yeah.
And V2 are U, sir. They both are equal.
Which one?
V1 and V2.
They cannot be equal. Check it.
They are equal, sir.
No, will not come. Equal will not come. V1 equal to u by 3 minus u by 3. Check it.
No, sir. It's U by 3. And
V2. 8
even
u by
that's U by 3, sir.
No, check it, check it, check it. Some others are giving some different
Yes,
answer.
sir, it is U by 3 only, sir.
U by 3, yeah, this also.
Sir, V1 is minus 2U by 3.
The one, it will rebound, no, collision concepts.
Yes, sir.
Minus. I'll write in other color, negative, no. So solve like correctly. Because the sign I have to interpret here. Value V1. It should be negative because lighter particle collides with heavier particle, it will rebound. Minus u by 3. Yeah. You don't think simple L omega 2 is equal to how much? 3u minus 3v1. That you substitute here. You'll get v2 v1 equation. Then solve these two. You'll get one. So much of big time. Huh? All of you sleeping or really listening to my class?
Sir, omega 2 is U by L, sir.
Only u by L. Huh?
Yes, sir.
So many different answers here. Huh? If everyone uniform, okay, I could have continued, but almost 8 students, they're given 8 different answers.
Sir,
Ah.
if V1 equal to minus U by 3, omega 2 can't be U by L, sir. The third equation won't satisfy that.
So that's why I'm telling this one, you have to work out all, see that no errors will be there.
Sir, V1 and V2 both are U by 3 and omega 2 is 2U by L, sir.
check one's calculation.
Even I got the same thing, sir.
V1 how much? V1 u by 3, huh?
Yes, sir. V1 and V2 both are U by 3 and omega 2 is 2U by L.
2u by L. Will it satisfy equation? Check it once.
Yes, sir, it will satisfy, sir.
Yes, sir.
equation to substitute the values. So RHS should become equal to U. Then fine, no? Mathematics. Okay, no. So these are about the angular velocities here. Sometimes V1 will be negative. Negative means it will rebound. That's all. Because a elastic collision is a lighter particle collides with a heavier particle. There's a possibility of rebounding. There's also possibility of particle will come to rest after collision. Then in that case, directly write V1 equal to 0. So you do have some questions where after impact, what will happen to the particle will come to rest. If they say like that, I think problem is very easy, no? After collision, the particle come to rest. Means that you know V1 0. Then what are unknown things V2 and omega 2? So all that will get the required answer. All situations are possible here. Getting this much, no? Okay, now we'll take the next condition. We'll write it here. The particle and rod lies on smooth horizontal surface and it is a test. We'll put it here. Find the velocity of rod just after impact if collision is perfectly elastic. If collision is perfectly inelastic. Now what will happen to the particle? It'll come and will get stuck to the rod. Okay, now work out this. I'll give some time, 1-2 minutes time I'll give it. Earlier it was the elastic collision, no? So what will happen now in this case? It will get stuck to it. Mass of the rod is m, mass of the particle is this one, m. Length of the rod, you can write equal to L. These are very popular. Almost you check the advanced, no? There are some 14 times they asked, not 1, 2. 14 times, all different, just about rod, this one. But the idea is same, you know, all that 14 numerical, the idea is same. It's a very popular, this one. After collision, what happened to rod plus particle? And now the very first question comes now about what point the angular momentum should be conserved, because there is a core idea, no? What point I should pick up? But what point the rod plus particle will rotate? Thus it will rotate about any point. Will it rotate about any point? No, it will rotate about the center of mass of the system, where the center of mass will come here. Then I should show everything with respect to center of mass. What is this earlier problem? You shown the velocity of the rod VO, omega O. Now you're writing omega C, BC. Problem to problem, things are changing. Any reason for that? The basic idea is the basic idea is like If a rigid body is set free to rotate, it will rotate about what? It will rotate about center of mass, no? There's a one basic property of rigid body. If a rigid body is set free to rotate, it will rotate about center of mass. It will rotate about center of mass here. Then, about what point angular momentum is considered? Angular momentum is considered about any point on the rigid body or about any point on the ground. But about which point will conserve? About what point the rod will rotate? About that point, if you conserve angular momentum, it will be very easy for you to write the equation. Then during collision, what are the things? Impulse will act. And impulse. And we are bothered about center of mass here. So applying conservation of linear momentum, initial linear momentum, final initial momentum, mu, final momentum, m plus m into vc. So what is vc is equal to u by 2. This is one thing. Next, after this, what I should apply conservation of angular momentum about what point? About c. LCZI is equal to LCZF. But sir, angular momentum is considered about any point. Yes, it is considered about any point. But after collision, what happens? The rod plus particle will rotate about center of mass, not about O. Because it's like it's a rigid body free to rotate, so it will rotate about center of mass here. So I'll consider about what point the rod is rotating. About that point, I'll consider angular momentum. Now this should be equal to mu. What can be distance AC here? AC should be equal to L by 4. AC should be equal to L by 4. So mu L by 4, initial angular momentum clockwise, final angular momentum IC omega c. This is of what? IC is of what? IC is mu L by 4. What is IC? Moment of inertia of the rod, ml square by 2L plus m into L by 4 whole square. This is for rod. Okay, fine. Then for particle, how much it is? At what distance from the axis of the particle? At a distance L by 4. So m into L by 4 whole square into omega c. Solving all this, already we know Vc. Solving this, we'll get the omega c. So put it clearly. This is for rod. This is for particle. Got the idea, no? So this will be, there's a core central idea. A rigid body is set free to rotate. Sir, what do you mean by free to rotate? You see that there's no any, it's not a fixed axis rotation, the rod plus particle. It's a axis is, it can rotate about any point, but where the center of mass is C. But sir, like you can ask C, like better to think in a very random way, nothing wrong. So this impulse can set up also on about O. At the same time, impulse will set up also about O. So plus JL 0. Similarly here also, sir, like plus JL minus JL. Then why do it will rotate? It should just move, no? It should have only translated motion. What is the net angular impulse? 0. As a net angular impulse is 0, initial angular momentum should be equal to final angular momentum. Now you ask questions of what makes the rod to rotate? The same impulse only. This impulse, what it will do? It will decrease the linear momentum of the particle. The same impulse, what it will do? It will impart momentum and also set up angular impulse. So here what happened? Again, the impulse of deformation, reformation occurs. And finally what happened? We see this condition. I think as a student, you should really analyze here. What actually happens? The ball or the particle, this when it goes and collides, it will undergo deformation. But sir, you said there's a rigid rod. Yes. Rod is rigid. What about particle? Particle also rigid, because we are applying quotient of restitution means some sort of what should happen? Deformation should take place here. So that will do for particle. But sir, you said particle means small body it is. So when you define coefficient of restitution S, you must able to analyze here. So since net angular impulse is 0, so therefore finally it must have some angular momentum. So that angular momentum about what point? About C. Any reason for that? Because the rigid body set free to rotate will rotate about center of mass. Like this, what happened? We'll get the omega C. What is the velocity of point A after collision? Can we find out that also? Is what is velocity of point A after collision? Will be L by 4 omega C plus Vc. What is the velocity of point B? Vc minus 3L by 4 like this. You can define speed of any point. What will happen to the rod? Will there be any stress in the rod just after collision? Will there be any stress as you go back to the circular motion? If a rod rotates about a point, so what happened to tension? Will be 0, no? 0, non-zero, will be non-zero. So the tension in the rod just after impact will be non-zero. And we know how to calculate. I think you got some questions in previous exams earlier in circular motion. Just after impact, what will be the tension in the rod? Will be non-zero. Just after impact. Or after impact, better they write. After impact. Tension in the rod will be. These are the more dangerous things. Huh? That's why you should make observations. So why that tension you brought it? Why the tension? Or say some stress or some force in the rod. Okay, now I think a little bit, let me take easiest example here. Now if the rod is rotating, so it'll be quite very easy, no? This will be, you look at the center of mass of this part of the upper part of the rod will be M, and M omega 2 square L by 2 will try to pull out like this. Similarly here, M omega 2 L square omega 2 L square by 2 will try to pull out. So these two forces, centrifugal forces open, they're trying to pull apart. So there'll be stress will be generated in the rod. So after collision, what happens as the rod is rotating, it will have, due to centrifugal force, there'll be tension. Why do this tension will be there? Due to radial outward force. Now, is there any point on the rod which will be at rest? Instantaneous rest. How? Yes, it can be brought here also, instantaneous rest. Then how to calculate that point? Vp is equal to Vc minus R omega C. What is anybody value of omega C? Just solve this, give omega C. We'll wind up that idea also. Three U by 5L. Yeah. No, after getting thank you. Then Vc is how much? Vc is U by 2. 3U by 5L. This is R into a point which will be a test. So what is point P? Instantaneous center. Should be 0. So solving this, R equal to how much will get? 5L by 6. From where you are measuring this R? Next question comes from where you are measuring. So let me give a separate diagram. This is the center of mass, no? This is Vc and this is omega C. The R is what? I'll measure from here. R equal to 5L by 6. So that particular point will lie on the rod or lies outside the rod. The particular point whose velocity will be 0 at that instant. 5L by 6 should be less than L by 2. Okay, should be less than 3L by 4. So 50, no? So it will be like a 0.8L. So will it lie outside or anybody? R will be greater than 3L by 4. Yeah, it will lie outside. The point P will lie outside because so this R is in fact greater than 3L by 4. So where do that point will lie? Not on the rod. Means what is this incident center, sir? Where is that? There's no rolling. Why you brought incident center? That's the first question what you can ask. There's no rolling, sir. Why you brought incident center? You stand on the ground. What is the comment you put it? Center of mass is moving with a velocity u by 2 and all points are rotating about center of mass. You come and stand at instantaneous center. Then what you should predict? This O will write able to see the screen? Okay, fine. O will write this equation like this. Person on the ground, no? Then same problem. Let this be so here if it is the incident center, then what you should show? You have to just show it that all points are. So don't think that only incident center is for rolling object and anywhere I can bring it. So I think this is what actually incident center, no? Don't get confused. I just brought in equation. Finally, I calculated R. R is in fact greater than 3L by 4. I'm just showing it outside here. So the rod in fact rotates about a point P. Then if you stand at incident center, then what you see? You see that all points are rotating about center of mass. Only rotating motion. We will see this diagram, person on the ground. The person at incident center. Person at incident center, what you'll say that all points are rotating about center of mass with angles to omega c. Then what this person will comment? Center of mass is moving straight with a velocity vc. Then all points are rotating with omega c about center of mass. Both comments are totally different. Center of mass is moving horizontally with velocity vc and all points on the rod are rotating with angular velocity omega c about center of mass. What is this comment? This comment will be all points are having only rotational motion about instantaneous center P. Rotation motion are having only rotational motion. That angular velocity I'll mention with angular velocity with angular velocity omega about this is very important. Conceptually, I will try to push you to these ideas because what else I can ask you? So only to trouble no. So what students what happen? You have what happened? Only for rolling motion you start thinking. No, I can apply for anywhere here. Just see once. We'll take the next case. And that's omega C's. I'm showing about C. Now I'm showing about P. This diagram is just to show you that somewhere on the rod I assumed it, but later on what I came to know, the incident center is not on the rod, it lies outside the rod. Let it be, no problem. And this is O, no, midpoint of the rod. Okay, let's take the next condition. First we took collision elastic, no, then perfect inelastic. Now let it be only elastic. Inelastic, let me put it. Need not to collide at the one end of the rod. So now the particle or small ball, mass of this, let it be 4m. E between inelastic collision, or that is, let me give E equal to 0.5, where AB is equal to L. And initially the rod is at rest. So find the velocity of particle in the rod just after impact. Look at the E now. So this distance, let it be L by 4. No. Find the velocity of particle and rod just after impact. Find the velocity of particle and rod let's, so after collision what will happen? Already we know enough of ideas, so directly after collision I'll show it. So here what we are, I'll assume the particle will have velocity v1. And now what about this rod? Will it rotate about center of mass, or will it rotate about its own center? It will rotate about its own center. But sir, previous problem you have shown, if the particles get stuck to the rod, then so what happen, you should consider angular momentum about the center of mass here. The particle will not get stuck to the rod, and if the rod set free to rotate, what happen? It rotate about its own center. But sir, you only said the rigid body will rotate, set free to rotate about center of mass. You see, particles get stuck, what will happen? The center of mass of system will not be at center of the rod. Your particle will not get stuck. In elastic collision it is equal to 0.5. So definitely what you can say that one, the rod is set free to rotate, so it will rotate about its center. Then applying conservation of linear momentum, initial momentum equal to final momentum. Initial momentum mu, final momentum mv1. This is 4m. So one equation. Then applying next the conservation of angular momentum. About which point? About any point? Or about only? About only, because after collision the rod will rotate about O. So therefore LOZI is equal to LOZF. LOZI mu L by 4 clockwise. Then IO, that of the particle, mv1 L by 4 clockwise. That of the rod, IO omega 2 clockwise. Why there is no angular momentum due to V2? The velocity of the rod will intersect axis of rotation. This axis. Axis is what? Z axis passing through O. So therefore this V2 will intersect, velocity V2 will intersect axis of rotation. So therefore only due to rotating motion we have angular momentum. Solving this, U L by 4, V1 L by 4 plus this will be 4m L square by 2L into omega 2. 4 also will get eliminated. L will be u v1 plus L omega 2 by 3. Equation 2. How many unknowns are there? V1, V2, omega. We need one more equation. Can apply conservation of kinetic energy? No. Inelastic collision. So what I'll do, I'll go for line of impact. There's a point P. Anything directed towards right, let it be positive. Then E is equal to velocity of point P minus velocity of particle plus V1, but initial velocity of the particle U minus 0. E is equal to how much? 0.5. Vp should be equal to V2 plus L by 2, L by 4. It should be L by 4. Solving 1, 2, 3 will get the required answer. It's an inelastic collision. So what are the possibilities? Elastic, perfect inelastic, and inelastic. So when that, so it's all about like particle gets stuck, you have to be careful. Then you have to, it will rotate about center of mass of system. Particles will not get stuck to the rod will rotate about its center. I think there's a thing which if you can identify, I think you can manage. Rest of everything, okay, you know. And conservation of angular momentum. What about an axis passing through O perpendicular to plane? So initial angular momentum, mu L by 4. Try to see, I think, can you remember last week we stressed a lot, no? How to find out angular momentum of a particle. This idea, L by 4, this is mu L by 4. Then finally, mv1 L by 4. ml square by 2L into omega 2. Mass of the rod is how much? 4m. That we are substituting it here. Anybody please solve it. The end answers will conclude. We'll start with a rod. Afterwards, I'll bring other rigid bodies. Are you getting the methodology of the rigid body, studying rigid body mechanics? First, we'll begin with the rod. Then what happen? I'll bring triangular plate, semicircular plate. I'll bring circular disc. Different rigid bodies will bring it, and we'll see what conditions will come. This week, all of you have to put maximum effort because now everything we know it. By today, I think you know everything about rotation mechanism. You know torque, angular impulse, angular momentum, linear momentum, collisions. Almost the total mechanics is what you know it. So the numerical can be of any kind. Please give the value so that some of the things are interpreted. Or can you solve it? I'll write only velocity of point. What is velocity of point A? What is velocity of point B? P2 minus. They can ask you any of these things. Again, instantaneous center. So for that, what you should do is to search a point where the velocity will be 0 of that particular thing. That particular point can lie inside or outside. Now, similarly, I want force exerted by one off on the other off. V1 minus U by 23. I'll push it. Let me write answers first here. What do you mean by negative sign? It will rebound. 6U by 23. Yeah, that will be. And omega 2 you can. (18U by 23) L. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. No, see, these are our answers. Huh? Negative sign comes, what does it mean? It will rebound. But sir, we assumed it. No problem, let it be. Because the velocity no, can be positive or negative. So what does it mean? Particle after collision rebounds. What do we? What is the negative sign? Particle after collision rebounds or retraces path. In the question, if they give directly after collision, the particle comes to rest. Tell me what you are going to do here. You are going to write v1 0. Very easy for you. How to get velocity of any point v and vb like this. Now, what is the force exerted by one off on the other off? Let me show that here. Force exerted by one off on the other off. The center of mass of this will be how much? 2m omega square L by 4. The center of mass of lower part will be 2m omega square L by 4. Why 2m? Because there's a rod of mass 4m, no? And this length is how much? L by 4. So altogether what happened? This upper off will exert a force on the lower off. And I'll give some other color. Upper off and lower off, I'm just showing the different shades. There will be a stress in the rod. No, get into the thing. So this is the. Okay, got this one. So like this. So you know omega. You know omega 2. Okay, there's omega 2. No. Put that. So there is a force exerted by one off on the other off. So many things are there. Say that's what all the ideas, what all you learned in mechanics will be here. So what is the type of motion the rod will describe? Translatory and rotatory motion means the rod will be center of mass will moving that and it will be rotating. So what is the type of motion? Translatory and rotatory motion. That's what the rod will describe motion here. So force exerted one off of the rod on the other off is 2m omega 2 square L by 4. This here to omega 2 value, what all you use there, you substitute, that will be the force. And nothing but there is centrifugal force, no? Simplest thing. So where do stress will be maximum here at point O? So where is possibility of the rod breaking up at the point O? That's what they have to take care. So why we are discussing all this, say when you go to machines, you get so many situations like this. I think you look at the machine, no? There'll be a rotating rod will be there. So where the stress will be there maximum at point 2. And I think some machines are there where continuously open one rod will come and strike the other rod for that motion. So there, this particular discussions will come into picture. So keeping all that machines in the mind, no, just we are introducing basic ideas. So what is the possibility of this rod breaking up at point O only maximum? Because the stress at O is maximum. So any possibility that the rod will break up at point O only. The first probability is it will break up at point O only. So they may test you with questions like this. So after impact, where is the probability of rod breaking up first at midpoint? Because here the stress will be maximum, here the force will be maximum. Okay, this is about the introduction. Tomorrow we'll discuss some other very good numericals, all application. I'll stop the class here.
So can you once scroll down a little?
Okay, ma. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, all of you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.